Hello, welcome back. We're on episode 5 of the Howler Basics. I'd like to go over a few more things here on the top, and then some things here on our toolbar and settings. This is again to help with your workflow. This, as we said, turns on and off the preview of the custom brush. This is very useful. Say if we select a media here, then I've got a real-time view of the brush. If you've got a really big brush, you can turn that off and you'll just get your crossbar. So that's what that's for. These are your settings for your tablet, using the tablet pressure for your brush size, using the opacity channel for your brush size, or for using the tablet pressure for the brush opacity. You can turn them both on, turn them both off. This is the direction pointer. This will allow your custom brush to follow your mouse a little closer. See here, it's generally stays upright and it's following. If we turn on the custom, then it spins the actual piece around as well. That can be useful for some various things. We've got the that allows our brush transforms so that we can do more changing to the opacity and the steps and things. This is smoothing. This will add some smoothing to the pointer's motion. It's not a full spline effect, but it's much closer. This is your tablet pressure adjustment. It opens up a little tab there so that you can then go in and adjust. It'll automatically sense what your max is and what your minimum is. When you're ready, you can just save it, and then it's ready to use at that point, so that you get all the way up to the 2048. Clear the board here. The next is the brush chroma key options, so that if you are selecting a brush using the brush selector here for a custom brush, we've got this now. The chroma key options allows us to then edit the transparency. So how much transparency we want, you can invert the key on that, more, less, etc. You can also use an alpha if it's active. This will allow you to tell what the transparent color is going to be. And then change back to a small airbrush here. This is one that I have a lot of fun playing with. You can do horizontal symmetry, vertical symmetry, the kaleidoscope, horizontal mirror, and vertical mirror. The horizontal mirror and the vertical mirror act instantly. So if you've got something already on here, and then I turn on the horizontal mirror, it instantly goes through and makes the horizontal mirror, and it stays on. So then if I continue to draw, it will automatically mirror at that point. The vertical mirror then flips it on, does the same thing, and you can do this. Thing to note about it is when you have the horizontal or the vertical symmetry on, you need to use the right hand side of the paper. If you try and draw on the left, nothing happens, and it can be very frustrating. So you need to use the right hand side. For if you've got the vertical on, you need to use the top. So as long as you keep that in mind, those work awesomely great. And then we can turn those off, or just clear it, which will turn everything off. The kaleidoscope is really neat for making mandalas. You can go up to a 10. It divides it all up. This allows you to reset the center, so don't try and draw right there in the very center unless you're coming in from the outside. And here, with this on, you can draw in any of the quadrants and it works just fine. So you can do some really neat mandala type effects. Depending on what you're doing, it can be very soothing. So some really neat things that you can do with that, and that's right here in the symmetry tool up at the top. So again, that's your anti-alias brush, your regular internal brush, which is the one that we've selected over here, and then if you have a custom brush open, then your custom brush. This is the custom brush that we just made, so there's what it's done. So that's a quick access without having to open your brush settings on that, which then brings us over here to the side. You can use this button here to shut that down, giving yourself even more real estate. You've just got your tools right there and your buttons across the top, so less things that you need to look at. Each of these sections, you can shut them down, so if you don't want to see your previews, you just click the button. The compact color, which has the handy dandy little saturation arrow there, which can allow you to adjust your saturation very swiftly on it. The main color, rather than the compact color, has the RGB, RGB2, the box, the tricolor, the wheel, the mixer, which is very cool, and the harmony. The mixer allows you to choose various colors and insert them into this right here, and then you can use that to then mix your oils and things like that, and you'll have well mixed colors in there that you can then use your turkey baster to choose from that. And you can determine how opaque it is. There's some other options. You can load some various ones that have already been saved for you, like a cool palette mix or browns for skin tones and things. So those are there, very, very painterly. That gives you your watercolor, your oils, your acrylics very swiftly. And then in the color box, you get the other options as well, where you can open the color picker, and right here, which we showed already, has the pigments and the hue wheel and whatnot. You can do colors by name, which will just show it. These are all on the quick picker, so but if you want to have that open and have it stay open, that's pinnable. And you can open a new palette mixer, so you can have several different palettes that are here. So I can do, you know, this one. I can do another set that uses a different set of colors. So multiple sets are possible with that. Red and blue, red, yellow, blue swatches, red, yellow, blue color picker, system color picker, hexadecimal. So a lot of various things. And then you can also save your color swatches, and you can take your buffer if you've got a number of sets of colors that you really like, and you can build a gradient or build a swatch piece for it, which will allow you to then arrange it so that you have your own custom colors and things. And again, if whichever one that you want, if you don't want to see the whole variety, you can put it there. These are your color swatches. The little arrows at the bottom will take you through the various ones that have been saved, and as I said, you can save your own sets of colors on that as well. Then your layers work different in Howler. You can adjust this bar here to give yourself more layers so that you can add more and more. Plus adds a layer, minus gets rid of a layer. You can't delete your base layer, but you can delete any of the rest. And then this squashes everything down. Basically, what you see on the main board here is what you will get when it's done. Inside the layers, we've got some various options for your big thumbnails or small thumbnails. And you can show your swap main relationship, which is what I have on here. This is my main, and over here is my swap. This allows you to move the layers up and down, and then these are some various effects that you can apply to your layers. A value is the blue screen, the green screen, magic pink, and drop magenta, which will allow you to simulate having opaque layers, because what we have is translucent layers. That means that whatever you put on here, the next layer that you add is going to be on top of that, and so you can see partially through. There are ways to then learn how to work with that. If you're used to Photoshop, that's going to be a little bit strange, but insofar as if you're doing traditional painting, that tends to be more how it actually works. If I wanted this to actually be fully red without showing any of the gray in between, I would just go down to the bottom layer and erase that little piece to white, and there you are. I have the clear colors showing through. So getting used to that. Some people, I guess, have a lot of problems with it. I wasn't used to Photoshop, so I've never really had a huge issue with using the layers. And later on, we can do some projects where we show using multiple layers. You can also here adjust the opacity of the layers so that you can have it very light, none, dark. Then the next one down is our info mode, which will tell us kind of what we're in, whether or not the GPU is on, our X and Y coordinates, so information. And then the last one here is the grids. You can have a ruler grid, which will bring up a ruler here along the top, and you can change whether it's in US or metric and things of that nature. And then a drawing grid. This is an unseen one, and this is the visible grid here to help you to stay within your bounding boxes and things of that nature. And you can divide it horizontally and vertically as many times as you like. The next one down is the artist guide, and this helps to divide your piece up just as you would if you were doing traditional drawing or painting, and you can decide how many horizontal and vertical things you want. New addition in Howler 10 is the Z-scale, and what the Z-scale does is it sets so that up here at the top you've got much smaller size, and then down at the bottom you would have a much larger size, so that it gives you the illusion of distance, going from the top of a picture down to the bottom. So it can be very useful. It works with a number of the brushes and some of the particles and things as well. So again, any of these that you aren't using, you can just happily shut and give yourself some more real estate. For me, I like my previews. I like my little compact one. I usually leave my layers on, and that's generally, the way that I like my workflow to go. So I think that takes care of most of these for right now, until we get to the actual projects where we'll be using some of these various things. And now we will go to the next one.